Howdy all, lovely to see you all again. I can't believe how long it's taken me to do an Anthrax solo. 6 frickin' years, I'm such a doofus. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at the amazing solo from Indians by Anthrax. Let's take a look. Alright, let's have a look at the first lick. We're going to start off with this. So, it's kind of weird because the backing is in E minor, but we've sort of got this weird C minor thing going on. It's quite strange, but it does sound nice and evil. I'm going to start off with sort of a backwards power chord. I'm going to be playing 5 of the 4th and 3 of the 5th. And then I want to go 6, 5, 6 on the 5th. You will notice that I'm leaving some gaps in between those. You can sort of add kind of like a little bit of a stop and a womp or a bit of dead note stuff in between as well if you want to. At the end of that, let's slow that down. I'm going to go 3, 5, 6, and then back to 3 again on the 5th string. At the end of that, I've got a hammer on from 5 to 6 on the 4th, and then I hit 5 again. All together. Now the next thing we do is exactly the same idea up an octave, but I'm just going to start from 12 of the 3rd string. So we're going to go like this. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 12 of the 3rd into 10 of the 4th. And then I want to play 12, 13, 12 on the 4th. And that little quick bit. I'm going 10, 12, 13, 10 again. And that little hammer-on phrase was going from 12 to 13 back to 12 on the 3rd string. All together. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. So this is kind of an arpeggio. I'm playing 13 of the 2nd and 10 of the 3rd and the 4th. And then after that, so sort of the same kind of spacing that we had before. I'm playing 12, 13, 12 on the 3rd string. At the end of that, what I'm doing here, 10, 12, 13, back to 10 with that kind of quick shuffle that we had on the previous phrases. At the end of that, hammer on from 12 to 13 and then playing 12 again on the 2nd string. That whole phrase. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this. Let me slow that down. I'm going to play 16, 15, 13 on the 1st string. And then I've got sort of a quick semitone bend from 15. At the end of that, I play 16, and then I'm going to do a little trill between 15 and 16 till the end of the section. That will obviously sound multiple times more sexy with a little bit more saturated distortion. So from that, the second last chunk into the last chunk, we'll have this. Let's try the whole section at a gentleman's pace, and then again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, let's have a look at section 2. So once again, we're dealing with some questionable decisions with the scale usage. It still sounds awesome, but we're essentially doing a G minor kind of pentatonic over this E backing. So I've got this at the start. So the start of that, I'm going to be playing open 3 on the 6th string and then jumping to the octave on 5 of the 4th. At the end of that, I'm I'm going to play open 5 on the 5th string and then do a pull off from 3 to open on the 3rd. So this is what we should have thus far. At the end of that, after that pull off, I'm going to jump to 3 of the 4th string. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 6 of the 2nd string into 5 of the 3rd. I then play 3 of the 1st into 6 of the 2nd. And to finish that off, I'm going to do a backward slide from 8 to 6 on the 2nd and then bend that up a full tone. So that's half of the section. Let's play that again at a gentleman's pace and then have a look at the second half. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I get a little bit of a, how would you describe it? A shook me all night long vibe. That little thing there. I'm going to slide from 5 to 7 of the 3rd and hit 6 of the 2nd string. And then I do the same thing, but I slide from 7 to 9 and then hit 8 of the 2nd string. So we're going to have, at the end of that, I'm going to play the 13th fret of the 2nd string, and then I'm going to play 15 of the 3rd string 3 times. At the end of that, a bit of a half bend from 14 of the 2nd string. So we've got, at the end of that, I'm playing 18 of the 2nd string, and then I've got a hammer-on pull-off going 17, 19, 17 of the 3rd. That's going to sound like this. There's only 3 more notes in this section. I'm going to be playing 20, 18, 20 on the 2nd string. So we've got, that's the whole section. So let's do it again at a gentlemanly pace, and then we'll do the whole thing even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. All right, guys, let's have a look at the 3rd section. I'm going to start off with this. So I'm on 20 of the 1st string. I'm going up and down very quickly, and then I have a really, really slow sort of ascend on that 2nd bend into a full tone. Then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 18, 20, 18, 17 all in one pick, so rolling legato. And then I'm going to pull off 18 to 17 again. There's another pick in there, and at the end of that phrase, I'm going to quickly play 20, 18, 20 on the 2nd string. So all together thus far at a gentlemanly pace. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. And that works into the last chunk. So let's work through this kind of pentatonic-y, I guess, lick just in chunks. So we're going to start off with this. Slow that down. I'm going to play 13, 15, 13 on the 1st string as a hammer-on pull-off. Then I want to jump to 15 of the 2nd, back down to 13. At the end of that, I'm going to add in 4 notes. I'm going to play 13 again, pull off 15, 13 on the 2nd string, and then jump to 14 of the 3rd. All together. Hopefully that's making sense. The next phrase is going to be very, very similar timing-wise. As you can hear back to back, it's quite similar. So I'm going to start off, itchy nose, apologies. I'm going to do 13 to 15, back to 13 is a hammer-on pull-off. Then I'm going to play 15 of the 3rd, back down to 13 of the 2nd string. And from that point, I'm going to do a pull-off from 15 to 12 on the 3rd string and resolve that on 15 of the 4th. So the most recent phrase. That's the right one, Chris. So if we play that back to back, we should have this. Hopefully that makes sense. Then I work into this phrase. And that'll lead us into the first note of the next group. So let's have a look at this nice and slow. I'm playing 12 of the 3rd string and then a quick double pull off playing 15, 12 on the 4th string. That's twice. And then that kind of works into a minor arpeggio. I'd be playing 13 of the 5th and 15 of the 6th. And then the leading note is 7 of the 1st string. That will get us ready for the next section. All right, let's go right back to the start of the section, play the whole thing at a gentlemanly pace, and then again, even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, last section, I'm going to start off, I'm playing 7 of the 1st string, that's what we had from the end of the previous section, with the unison bend from 10 of the 2nd. So I'm going to play it up, then bring it down. It is going to be a little bit clashy because of that sort of major 2nd interval there. At the end of that, I'm going to bend 10 up and back as just a single note on the 2nd string and resolve that to 7. So I've got, at the end of that, I'm going to slide into 15 of the 2nd string and then 12 of the 1st. And then exactly the same phrasing here. This one just doesn't have the unison at the start. So I'm going to bend 15 up and back. And then I go up and back in one pick and resolve to 12. Let's have a look at what we've got of both of those phrases back to back. I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I just did on 15 and 12, but I'm going to slide up to 22 and 19 of the 2nd and the 1st string. So we'll do that at a gentleman's pace, sliding into 22 of the 2nd, playing 19 of the 1st, 22 up and down, hitting it again at the bottom, and then a quick up and down bend, finishing on 19. So we've got, and that's 3/4 of the section. We finish it off with this. So what I've got there, I slide into 7 of the 3rd and then play open of the 1st. And then I go back to unison bend down. This time I'm playing 5 of the 2nd and 7 of the 3rd. I'm going to play them together into sort of a, you know, a unison bend, and then I'm going to bring it down once again, clashy major 2nd interval. Bit crazy there, and then I've got a bend up and back. A little bit clean over here. So when you've got a bit more distortion, that pinch harmonic will come through. I'm bending 7 up and back on the 3rd string and then resolving to that squeal on 4 of the 3rd. And that is the whole thing. So let's go right back to the start of the section, play it at a gentlemanly pace, and then again, even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo from Indians by Anthrax. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And please click the links in the description box to my Facebook fan page, my Patreon, and if you want to check out some of my courses on Udemy, I have one on techniques, shredding, legato, tapping, sweeping, all that fun stuff in the Ultimate Shred Machine course. I also have a modal course, and of course, my book, Ultimate Shred Machine, is out right now if you want to get some of your chops up in all of those technical, shreddy, and rock areas. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll catch you guys all very soon.